has a message.
Welcome back, fellow deep divers. Get ready, because today we're diving headfirst into a puzzle so twisted, so ingenious, it'll leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about deception.
And where better to unravel such a tangled web than in the foggy, gaslit streets of 1937 London.
Exactly. We're talking locked rooms, poisoned salts, and whispers of a secret society. Talk about intrigue.
All inspired, of course, by the master of impossible crimes himself, John Dickson Carr.
Oh, he was a genius at crafting those baffling mysteries, wasn't he?
Absolutely. And the story we're about to unpack is a prime example, a tale of murder most foul, cloaked in layers of misdirection and shrouded in secrets.
Okay, so picture this. A wealthy London home, a victim named Mrs. Mildred Taylor, notorious for her, shall we say, delicate constitution.
A hypochondriac, to be precise.
No.
And she meets her demise not in a crowded street or a dark alley, but within the supposed safety of her own bedroom.
And the weapon of choice. No blunt instrument, no gunshot, we're talking poison.
Antimony, to be exact, cunningly disguised as her everyday Epsom salts.
Talk about sinister. Right from the get-go, you're faced with this seemingly impossible scenario. A locked room, a poisoned victim, and a cast of characters with secrets to hide.
It's the perfect setup for a classic whodunit.
And speaking of characters, we're introduced to some real heavy hitters right off the bat.
Oh, yes. First, there's Dr. Gideon Fell, our astute and insightful guide through this labyrinth of clues. Picture him with that booming, gravelly voice, the kind that instantly commands attention.
He's the one who sets the stage, right? The one who first reveals the details of this bizarre locked room puzzle.
Precisely. Then we have Barrister Patrick Butler, a man of logic and reason, thrust into the heart of this perplexing case as the defender of the accused.
And the accused, well, that's where the plot thickens. It's none other than Joyce Wallace, Mrs. Taylor's young companion.
A seemingly vulnerable figure, but as with all things in this story, appearances can be deceiving.
That's right. And right away, Butler, during his cross-examination, he starts poking holes in the seemingly straightforward narrative.
Like that misplaced backdoor key. Such a small detail, easily overlooked, yet it raises questions about the timing of events and casts a shadow of doubt on the initial assumptions.
It's a good reminder for us, too, isn't it, that the devil is often in the details. And then, just when you think you're starting to grasp the situation, the story throws a curveball, a truly unsettling element.
Whispers of a Satanist cult. Suddenly, this seemingly domestic tragedy takes on a much darker and more sinister tone.
It's like a chill runs down your spine. You find yourself questioning everything. Are we dealing with a simple case of greed and revenge, or is there something more malevolent at play?
And those seemingly insignificant details found in Mrs. Taylor's room, that inverted silver cross, the scarlet garters, they take on a whole new meaning.
They feel deliberate, almost staged, wouldn't you say? Like symbols meant to mislead, to throw investigators off the scent.
Precisely. And then comes the first major twist, the one that truly sets the stage for the intricate dance of deception that follows. Joyce Wallace, despite the mounting suspicions, is acquitted.
Acquitted? It's a shocker, isn't it? It makes you wonder if justice was truly served, or if something more complex, perhaps even more sinister, influenced the verdict.
And this acquittal, it's not just a legal outcome. It's a catalyst that propels the story in a whole new direction. We soon learn that this seemingly isolated incident is connected to a string of untraceable poisonings across England.
A pattern emerges. The same poison, the same baffling circumstances, and no clear connection between the victims.
Which leads us to believe that something larger, something more organized, is lurking beneath the surface.
And Butler, our steadfast barrister, finds himself pulled deeper into this widening mystery. He's no longer simply defending a client, he's chasing shadows, unraveling a conspiracy that stretches far beyond the confines of Mrs. Taylor's poisoned bedroom.
And just when the stakes couldn't seem higher, a new player enters the scene, one with a direct link to the deceased, Lucia Renshaw.
The widow of Mrs. Taylor's nephew, Dick, who, chillingly enough, also succumbed to antimony poisoning.
The plot thickens, doesn't it? 2 deaths, the same poison, and now this grieving widow who, frankly, raises more questions than she answers.
Her grief feels performative, wouldn't you say? Almost too theatrical. And then there's that bombshell revelation, Dick's dying accusation that Lucia was the one who poisoned him.
A twist that throws everything we thought we knew into question. Suddenly motives shift, alliances blur, and you find yourself reevaluating everyone's potential role in this twisted game.
And it's at this point that Dr. Fell, with his keen intellect and eye for the macabre, starts piecing together the puzzle. The inverted crosses, the scarlet garters, the seemingly random details, he sees them as breadcrumbs leading to a dark and disturbing truth.
He connects the dots, suggesting that this Satanist cult is not just a shadowy myth, but a very real and organized network, operating with a chilling efficiency.
A murder club, as it were, trading poisons between cities, carrying out their dark deeds with a chilling detachment. It paints a terrifying picture, doesn't it, of a world where death can be bought and sold like a commodity.
And the evidence mounts. Blackened candle wax found in Lucia's residence suggests occult rituals, further cementing the connection to this sinister organization.
And then there's that eerie chapel steeped in the Renshaw family's occult history, a place where darkness seems to linger. It adds another layer of creepiness to the whole affair.
It does, doesn't it? But the investigation takes a sudden and violent turn when Butler is ambushed in a Soho pool hall. This isn't just a game of clues and deductions anymore. Real danger lurks around every corner.
And this attack, orchestrated by a thug named Goldie, it's a clear message, isn't it? Stay away or else.
Absolutely. The stakes are raised. The cult is willing to protect their secrets at any cost. And so, with danger closing in, Butler and Lucia embark on a desperate midnight race to the chapel crypt.
A race against time, fueled by the rumors of hidden records, evidence that could expose the cult's inner workings and perhaps even reveal the identity of the serpent, the elusive figure at the heart of this deadly conspiracy.
Imagine it. The oppressive darkness of that ancient crypt, the air thick with the scent of decay and incense, the faint echo of dripping water.
And at the heart of it all, a macabre altar, black candles flickering, casting eerie shadows on the stone walls.
A chilling tableau, a testament to the perversion of faith and the depths of human depravity.
And as they delve deeper into the crypt, they uncover those hidden confessional booths.
Places where, instead of seeking forgiveness, they traded poisons and whispered the names of their intended victims.
It's a grotesque mockery of sanctity, isn't it? And then those faded ledgers come to light, detailing a vast and chillingly organized network of murder for hire.
A glimpse into the dark underbelly of society, where life holds little value and death is a mere transaction.
But their search for the truth is abruptly interrupted by chaos. Goldie reappears, gun in hand, ready to silence them permanently.
The crypt becomes a battleground, a desperate struggle for survival amidst shattered glass and flying pool balls.
And then the fire erupts, fueled by spilled paraffin, engulfing the crypt in an inferno, a desperate attempt to destroy any incriminating evidence.
In the ensuing chaos, Butler manages to escape, clutching a portion of the cult's documents. But Lucia, her true allegiance still a mystery, disappears with other crucial pieces of the puzzle.
And Dr. Fell, always a step ahead, issues a chilling warning. There's a third hand at play, a hidden traitor lurking in the shadows.
A reminder that even as some threats are extinguished, others remain, waiting for their moment to strike.
And as Butler examines the singed records, he uncovers a disturbing pattern. Each victim is linked to a client, someone who stood to benefit from their death, whether through inheritance or revenge.
A cold and calculating system, driven by greed and a chilling disregard for human life.
And then Dr. Fell unveils another crucial piece of the puzzle, Mrs. Taylor's diary.
A window into her private thoughts, her fears, and her entanglement with the cult. We learn that she was initially in league with Dick Renshaw, lured by promises of power and influence.
But then she had a change of heart, threatening to expose the cult's secrets, a decision that ultimately sealed her fate.
It reframes Mrs. Taylor, doesn't it? She's no longer simply a victim. She becomes a complex figure caught in a web of her own making.
And with this new information, suspicion naturally falls on Lucia. Her erratic behavior, her disappearance after midnight, the sighting of her car near Holloway Prison, all point to her potential involvement.
But before we can jump to conclusions, another twist emerges. Butler confronts Kitty Owen, the Renshaw's maid.
And she drops a bombshell. She's been spying for Joyce Wallace, under duress, she claims. It seems even from behind bars, Joyce's influence remains potent.
And then that shattered perfume vial found in Butler's apartment, the scent of Joyce's perfume lingering in the air, a subtle but chilling reminder that she is still very much in play.
A mastermind, perhaps, orchestrating events from the confines of her prison cell. And the news of the judge's poisoning, the very judge who presided over Joyce's trial, with those signature scarlet cord marks, it's a clear message.
A message of power, of control, and of revenge.
It's terrifying to think that the woman deemed insane might actually be the one pulling the strings. And so Butler, armed with this newfound knowledge, heads to Holloway Prison for a final confrontation with Joyce Wallace.
A meeting of minds, a battle of wills where truth and deception collide.
And within the cold, sterile walls of the prison, Joyce's carefully constructed facade crumbles. She boasts about her manipulations, her pride, and her acting abilities, her intricate web of deceit.
It's chilling, isn't it? Her complete lack of remorse, her belief that she is above the law, a puppet master playing with people's lives.
And that moment when she reveals the scarlet garter beneath her prison uniform, a symbol of her allegiance worn with defiance.
It's a stark reminder that even behind bars, her spirit remains unbroken, her commitment to the cult unwavering.
But just as she's about to revel in her supposed triumph, Dr. Fell arrives with the final pieces of the puzzle. Kitty Owen's testimony and the cult ledger clearly naming Joyce as High Priestess.
The truth is revealed. Joyce's insanity was a masterful act, a performance designed to mislead and manipulate.
But even as her true nature is exposed, the danger persists. She laughs defiantly, vowing that her followers will continue her work, that Butler will pay for his meddling.
And as if to underscore her threat, a gunshot rings out outside Butler's apartment.
Goldie, the cult's enforcer, lies dead, a scarlet cord around his throat, a final message clutched in his hand. The game isn't over.
It's a chilling reminder that even with Joyce behind bars, the cult's web of influence remains intact.
And their attention turns to that cryptic symbol, the twisted serpent, the last sigil of this deadly conspiracy.
A symbol that leads them to a derelict apothecary in the shadowy depths of Whitechapel.
A place where the past lingers, where the air is thick with the scent of forgotten remedies and the weight of untold secrets.
A treasure trove of macabre discoveries awaits them inside. Vials of antimony, meticulously labeled with dates matching unsolved murders, a ledger detailing the cult's clients and their gruesome requests.
Evidence of a long and bloody history, carefully hidden from the prying eyes of the law.
And then, amidst the dusty tomes and forgotten potions, they stumble upon the shopkeeper's journal.
A revelation that shatters their understanding of the case. Joyce, the mastermind, was merely a pawn, a shield protecting the true leader, the enigmatic figure known only as the Serpent.
And as if to confirm this startling truth, a photograph falls from the journal, a picture of Lucia, younger, at the chapel altar, her hand resting on a scarlet garter, a symbol of her deep-rooted involvement.
It's a revelation that reframes everything. Lucia, the grieving widow, is suddenly at the center of this web of deceit.
Butler, driven by this newfound knowledge, races to Lucia's manor, only to find it deserted, a single black candle burning, casting an eerie glow.
And as the radio crackles to life, a distorted voice utters a chilling phrase. From ash we rise.
A message of defiance, a promise that even in the face of defeat, the cult's spirit endures.
And Dr. Fell, ever the voice of caution, warns that some serpents may shed their skin, but never their venom.
A chilling foreshadowing of the dangers that lie ahead.
And so, amidst the swirling fog and the lingering scent of danger, they confront Lucia in the apothecary's back room.
Gone is the composed widow. In her place stands a woman consumed by madness, a scarlet garter now openly displayed on her sleeve.
And she confesses, revealing the depths of her depravity, her thirst for power, her manipulation of everyone around her.
The cult was her creation, her means of control, fueled by a desire to shape the world according to her twisted vision.
And in a desperate act of defiance, she hurls a vial of antimony, attempting to silence them permanently.
But Dr. Fell, ever vigilant, manages to contain the deadly fumes, saving Butler's life.
And Lucia, defeated but unrepentant, flees back to the burning chapel crypt, setting fire to the last remaining cult ledger, attempting to erase all traces of her involvement.
"You'll never prove it now," she taunts, her laughter echoing through the smoke-filled ruins.
But as the flames die down and the smoke clears, Butler discovers a single scrap of paper spared from the inferno. It bears a single initial, L.
A tiny but crucial piece of evidence, a testament to the fact that truth, however fragmented, can survive even the most destructive of forces.
And as the sirens of Scotland Yard approach, signaling the end of this chapter in this dark and twisted saga, we're left with the unsettling feeling that the story is far from over.
That initial L may not be enough to satisfy the demands of justice, but it fuels Butler's determination to see Lucia brought to account for her crimes.
And a tip, whispered from the shadows, leads them to a dockside warehouse where Lucia prepares to escape, to vanish into the night.
A final confrontation unfolds, the air thick with tension and the weight of unspoken accusations.
Lucia, her carefully crafted facade crumbling, her escape plan thwarted.
And Dr. Fell, with his impeccable timing, reveals a coded letter addressed to a brotherhood in Marseille, evidence of Lucia's grand ambitions, her desire for power that extended far beyond London's fog-choked streets.
Cornered, with her secrets laid bare, Lucia makes a desperate choice. She leaps into the murky depths of the Thames, disappearing beneath the waves.
Her fate uncertain, her body never recovered.
Leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions and the chilling possibility of her return.
And so we return to the beginning, to Mrs. Taylor's vandalized grave, now desecrated with the serpent symbol, a chilling reminder that the cult's influence, like a persistent stain, remains.
Monsters die, but myths endure, Dr. Fell observes, a poignant reflection on the enduring power of fear and the difficulty of truly eradicating darkness.
And Butler, in a symbolic act of closure, burns the scarlet garter in his hearth, attempting to sever his connection to this nightmarish case.
But as he settles into a semblance of normalcy, a knock at the door shatters the quiet.
A package awaits him, containing an empty antique poison vial and a note scrawled in familiar handwriting from Ash.
A chilling reminder that the game, despite their best efforts, is far from over. The serpent, it seems, has shed its skin and slithered back into the shadows, waiting for the opportune moment to strike again.
And as the detective radio fades to static, leaving Butler staring into his haunted reflection, we are left to ponder the lingering mysteries. Who sent that final message? Is Lucia truly gone, or is she biding her time, plotting her revenge? And what of this shadowy brotherhood in Marseille, lurking on the fringes of the narrative?
These are questions that linger long after the story ends, a testament to the enduring power of secrets and the chilling truth that some evils never truly die. They merely transform, adapting to the changing tides, waiting for their moment to resurface.
As we conclude our deep dive into this intricate web of deceit and murder, let us not forget the lessons learned. Look beyond the surface, question assumptions, and beware those who claim to hold the truth, for deception often wears the most convincing mask.
Until our next descent into the depths of mystery, keep your mind sharp, your eyes open, and remember, sometimes the most dangerous serpents are the ones we never see coming. The static of detective radio fades.